Well, hello there. So today is gonna be a story time. I'm still kind of debating if I even want an intro for my YouTube channel. I just find them kind of repetitive and kind of like unnecessary at times. Most times. But okay, so it's gonna be a story time on my home birth. Before I start with the story, I do want to say that this is just my story. This is in no way, shape, or form advice or nothing. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Okay? This is just my story. So, I found out I was pregnant. Very unexpected. Me and his dad were very unprepared. He actually told me to not have him because we were both like really not mentally mature, financially stable. We were both very immature. We just needed a lot of growth in all aspects of life. But I listened to my heart and I was like, I can't do it, I'm keeping him. So that's what I did. And now I have a almost 4-year-old, which is crazy. I'm gonna stop saying 22, and I had him at 23. And during this whole pregnancy process, it was kind of like stressful because like the first 3 months, it's like really high risk of miscarriage. And then the last 3 months were the toughest on my body, especially my spine. My spine hurt so bad. My feet were so swollen. I could hardly even stand up. I couldn't even stand up or walk longer than like 30 minutes without my feet hurting at this point. But yeah, I did a lot of research because I refused to have a hospital birth. I read books. Like, I needed to know what was happening. Hi. Oh. I got it. I need to know what is happening way before it happens, if possible, in all situations in my life. So that's why I did a bunch of research to see what was going to be happening throughout the pregnancy process, throughout the birth process. And that's what led me to conclude that I don't want a hospital birth. For one, I don't like the idea of just strangers being in a room. Like, I want it to be an intimate situation where it's with people that I know, love, and care about, to share that intimate, moment with me. Like, why do I want to share that with strangers? 2, I did not like the hospital procedures like Pitocin, epidural, them pressuring you to do things because that's what they're used to. I get that, but I'm not into that. I'm more into the natural remedy. Like, I prefer plants and herbs and natural stuff other than man-made chemical medicine. Yeah, so I wasn't with that. And also I've heard some of my friends and just people online, videos that I've seen about people giving birth in hospitals, just having the most worst experience ever. And I didn't like the idea of my baby getting all these shots, or getting this eye cream in his eyes, or just all these different type of chemicals. Why? No. And then sometimes they don't even listen to the mom and they do stuff to the baby anyway. They take your baby away out of the room, and sometimes you don't know what happens to your baby outside of that room. I'm good. It just sounds like a huge stressful situation for me, but if that's what you're into and that's what you trust, that is completely fine, okay? I'm not against it. I'm debating if I'm against it or not. I don't know. I don't think I'm against it, especially if the nurses and doctors actually listen to your want and needs. But I'm against it when they refuse to listen to anything you want. It's I am the patient. You have to listen to me. Obviously, when doing a home birth, you want a doula or a midwife or someone there that knows what to do in those situations, Luckily for me, I had a best friend that was studying to be a doula, and she needed to help assist like 2 or 3 home births, and I was her second or third one for her to finish her schooling. And I was like, girl, like, help me, like, be there for me. And then obviously I also had a doula that's been in like the industry for like years. Like, she knew what she was doing. Like, she got me a little what is it called, the heart beating reading machine. But anyway, Kayla was I got her for my placenta encapsulation. She made my placenta into like little chocolates and little capsules, and then like a little keychain, and what else? I wanted a face mask, but I just didn't have enough placenta to do all that. But yeah, the whole thing was like, I want to say like $300. And disclaimer, I do want to say that I did go to all my prenatal visits, so I did make sure that I was healthy and my baby was healthy for me to give a home birth. That's number one, okay? I'm saying that because I didn't have a medical professional there. Like, medical licensed professional was not there for me, okay? That's why I'm saying that. If you are at high risk pregnancy, I would not recommend doing a home birth. I mean, maybe if you have a midwife, that's a different story. And if she says it's okay, then that's a different story. On October 23rd, around 7 p.m. Okay. So October 23rd, around 7 p.m. My mom, being the intuitive Pisces she is, she's all like, let's take a picture with you in the belly before you give birth. We take the picture. 30 minutes after, my water broke. I was already 40 weeks, 4 days pregnant. I was 4 days past the limit of what doctors want someone to be pregnant for. But I was like, hey, my kid's gonna be ready when he's ready. Like, I'm fine, I'm not at high risk, he's healthy, I'm healthy. Whenever he's ready, I'm ready. But I was trying to manifest him being born on the 24th because his dad is born on the 24th. So I wanted them to have like matching days. And so when my water broke on the 23rd, I was like, no, like, he cannot be born on the 23rd. Anyway, so 6 hours passed, and at this point I'm freaking out because Kayla told me that after 6 hours and like nothing's really happening of your water breaking, you're at risk of infection. So I was like getting stressed. I was like, okay, so like let me see what I could do. And I was like, oh, I could drink the castor oil, like the apricot juice, castor oil. I think that's it. But basically you drink it. I don't know how much to drink, so I just drink like this much. There's like a recipe online, just search it up if you want to know what it is. Basically, it's supposed to kickstart the birthing process. So by the time I decided to take the castor oil, it's like 3 or 4 a.m. Then at 5 a.m., I'm trying to go to sleep, but I can't because all of a sudden I started getting really strong contractions. I couldn't even sleep. I told my mom, I was like, you gotta drive me to Carolinas right now. My mom is Mexican. Mexicans don't know shit about home births. They think it's fucking stupid. So I had to lie to her and tell her I had a midwife waiting for me at Carolinas. Carolina is my best friend that was doing the schooling to be a doula, okay? That was the only way my mom was gonna be down to drive me to Carolinas. Or else she wouldn't even have let me have a home birth. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared as shit. Even though I read all these books, I did all this research online, I was so scared to give birth. I was like, what is it about to feel like? What am I gonna go through? Like, what's the process like? How long is it gonna take? Because I've heard people take up to 30 hours. No. So, like, at this point, it's like 6 a.m. I called her. I was like, hey, I need to go over to your house right now. I think I'm about to give birth. She's like, okay, that's fine. She was asleep. I woke her up. I felt so bad, but I was like, girl, I cannot wait. Like, I was trying to hold it in. Like, how do you hold in a contraction? How do you hold in a baby? But anyway, I was like, girl, I was just trying to hold it in as long as I could not do anything. I was like, I need to go right now. She's like, okay, that's fine. I'll get everything ready for you. So, I was going to give birth. I was going to have a water birth. So she got the tub ready, she started cleaning the restroom and all that. And these contractions were nothing like I've ever felt in my entire life. These contractions felt like your ovaries were being electrocuted. No exaggeration. But one of the books I read said that the way to manage through those contractions, because they're strong and they last a while, for sometimes hours. So the way to manage that is think of each contraction as a wave. So like but is a canal, like a cave, and the ocean is just like bringing in tides and waves. That's how you should imagine the contractions, and that actually did help for me. Also, I've heard that you get to manage your pain during birth however you want. Some people are like, oh, breathe, like that shit don't fucking work. I'm telling you that right now. When I was giving birth, like actually pushing him through, I was like letting out these primal screams. I could tell you right now, if someone was walking right past that trailer while I was unleashing those screams, they would think there was a wild beast in there. Last thing on the primal screams, okay? My primal screams sound so crazy. My boyfriend was laughing at me. And like, yeah, I guess some people would get like offended by that, but I didn't get offended by it because I thought it was funny that he was laughing at it, because those screams sound crazy and I don't blame him. Every birth and every person is gonna be different. He actually talked to me, like having normal conversations while I was pushing out a human, and that actually helped because there was times where we were laughing, we were just having like regular conversations, which is weird because I would think I wouldn't be into it, like I'd be pissed off and like shut up, but I was actually into it, and it actually helped me throughout the process of pushing a human out. And one of the books I read, once you're actually pushing a baby out, it feels like a ring of fire. And right now, it might not make sense, but once you're going through it, you're going to understand exactly what that means. And I wasn't even pushing for long. I only pushed for 20 minutes. But the whole birthing process took me like 2 hours. It was so fast. My best friend wasn't believing me when I was telling her. I was like, oh, he's coming out. That's how fast it was. Because I was in water, and I was like, I'm gonna post a picture, and I'm gonna like kind of like bleep some stuff out, because I don't want this video to get taken down. But yeah, so I was like, I'll just post a picture. But one of the reasons why some women tear and take longer to birth is because in the hospitals, they tell you to lay on your back with your legs like wide open. That's actually the most terrible way to give birth. You're supposed to let gravity push the baby down. So like on your knees, on all fours, something. Or even like on that huge bouncy ball, and you could just jump on it. You want gravity to push that baby down. You do not want to be laying on your back. You know who created that technique of laying on your back? A white man that got off from seeing women give birth in that position. Don't believe me? Do research on it. So, oh yeah, my mom ended up falling asleep as I was giving birth because it was like taking too long. And also, you have to think, she only slept for like 4 hours, so she was tired. She fell asleep on the couch, and once like I was done giving birth and then the baby started crying, she like woke up from her sleep and like sprinted to the bathroom. She's like, oh, I thought it was a dream, but it's actually real. Like, the baby cries. My home birth experience was honestly everything I could have wished for, plus more. It was so beautiful, and there was only my mom, my boyfriend, Carolina, and the baby I was giving birth to there. And like the people I care about, it was like intimate, it was special to me. You know, Carolina's boyfriend even left with their son, so it could just be us with the whole like place to ourselves. It was perfect. And then I got to rest on her bed. She helped me cut the placenta. It was beautiful, honestly. And I would do it again. And I will do it again with my next baby. To end this video off with... Does that even make sense? Okay, anyway. To end this video off with... just do research. Do research on birth, pregnancy, everything there is to it. Because it honestly makes me really sad that women just go to the hospital route. And then their needs and wants are ignored. They get hurt when they don't need to. Procedures are done on their baby that doesn't need to be done. Doctors prefer the C-section route most times because they get paid more for it. It's like double the amount. Like, it's a lot of money. So make sure you really need a C-section, because I feel like some of these doctors are just bullshitting you. Some women don't even need C-sections. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching and supporting me and just sitting here and listening to me talk about this story. Means a lot to me, and I hope you keep watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you on the next video. Forehead kiss. Bye.